I'm sorry, but this is going to be a major rant video. Seeing that Philly game live in person might have broken me. I'm sure it's just recency bias, but that might have been the most embarrassed I've been as a Ducks fan. And I don't know where we go from here. Another Ducks game, and another one in which they looked unprepared. The Ducks lose 3-0 to the Capitals, and it could have been worse if not for 3 Capitals posts, marking the second time in 3 games they have been shut out, after going the entire season without being shut out once, somehow. They had an amazing stretch, beating out tough teams with stellar goaltending and timely goals. But I think most of us knew it wasn't sustainable. That's why, in every single one of those videos, I said I was cautiously optimistic. I wanted to enjoy the semi-good times while they lasted, but now we're seeing just how unsustainable they were. The team is now back to being outshot and barely generating any truly dangerous scoring chances. They can't clear the puck or even make simple passes. They are once again dead last in goals per game and tied for last in total goals. The offense is non-existent. On top of that, there are concerns that this system, or whatever we're doing, is ruining the players' development, and that's even if they play. The young defenseman rotation is crazy. An even crazier thing about this rotation, or almost lack of one, is that Verbeek is on the road trip, seeing it all firsthand and is doing nothing. How do we go from calling Zellweger one of our best defensemen early in the season to barely playing him? There is no method to the madness. Zelly will have a strong game and then find himself benched the next. Meanwhile, Helleson seems locked into the lineup for some reason. I mean, good for Helly for stepping up and making it hard to scratch him, especially after being an afterthought for most of the fanbase, myself included, but there's no way he should be playing over Zelly or Minty. Sure, he's a righty, but he's also older and pretty much is what he is at this point. Zelly and Minty have such higher ceilings, and it feels like their development is being ruined. If they actually rotated all 3 consistently, it wouldn't be that bad, but having Zelly or Minty sitting out 7 of the last 10 games, or whatever the number is unacceptable. Verbeek needs to trade a veteran defenseman now, and Dumoulin would be the easiest option. I like Dumo, I would have liked to keep him around, but not at the expense of playing young kids. The NHL trade deadline is still almost 2 months away, but waiting that long feels like wasting an entire season. Sure, you might get a 2nd or a 3rd round pick for Dumoulin at the trade deadline instead of a 4th now, but is it worth it? Especially when we're talking about giving playing time to young players who could be franchise altering. Something needs to change in the coming weeks. It's not fair to the players. We gave Cronin the benefit of the doubt last season, his first year as a head coach with so many injuries to deal with, and he didn't have his own assistants. It made sense to give him another shot, even though there were already some concerning signs. Plus, going from Eakins to Cronin initially looked like improvement, but now, halfway through his 2nd year, it's clear things aren't getting better. The only real differences are that the team is taking fewer penalties and getting elite goaltending, something Eakins rarely had, which is the only reason our standings look better. Shout out to Derek Lee for going on the road these last few games, because we have gotten some all-timers from Cronin in the post-game pressers. Here are 3 of my favorites.
We can't draw up new formulas for generating offense.
I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
We've got to find a way to generate more goals without giving up, goals against.
The essence of every sports game, truly groundbreaking stuff. But this one might truly take the cake.
With 18, 19 shots.
Yeah, I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know. I was watching the shot clock, and there was like 3 shots on one shift, and we got deducted a shot. It's kind of bizarre, honestly.
I just don't get it. Cronin did not sound this dumb in his Duckstream interview before the season. Same goes for the Beaker. I don't get where all their knowledge has gone. We were discussing this in our Discord, and the only thing that gave me a bit of hope that Cronin would be fired, though it might be a bit dumb, is that if Verbeek doesn't fire Cronin, he'll have to face all the season ticket holders at the annual Ducks migration event. Last year, he said he wanted to push for the playoffs, and now it's looking like he's going to fall flat on his face. They filter the questions, but imagine if we did it town hall style, where people could just walk up to the mic and ask anything. I have a feeling it would be very brutal. That event is meant to give hope for the future, so people keep buying tickets. But all I know, and I'm not the only one feeling this way, people have told me the same, this is a warning. If Greg Cronin is still the head coach next year, I will be canceling my season tickets. It's going to suck to lose my seniority from 2015, and as someone who has missed maybe 5 home games over the last 5 years, it's going to be tough. But I generally can't keep going and expecting us to lose. The times I have enjoyed most recently are during war-ups, with a few sprinkle other occasions of actual Ducks games. That's not even mentioning that there is almost no real benefit to being a season ticket holder anymore. Plus, I'm sure tickets will go up next season like they did this season, over $100. Like, how can they even justify that? But besides the annual Face-Off Fest, there are barely any events exclusive to season ticket holders anymore. Even the migration event they put on YouTube, which they should because everyone should hear the GM start to tell lies at this point. We don't even get the giveaways from ticket packs, like the upcoming for Toronto pin? Nope. Now, I will still be watching every game and making a video after every game, now that I'm back home, and rooting for the Ducks till I die. But until I believe in the direction of this franchise again, I will not be going. Starting next season, because obviously, I already have tickets for this season. The longer Verbeek keeps Cronin around, the more faith I lose in him. I will hop back on that train if he swallows his pride and does what needs to be done. I can't believe my initial reaction of Cronin all the way back when I made the Ducks' original coaching options video was right. My initial thoughts on Cronin on the surface was that he seemed like an older Eakins, which is why I said he was the one I was least excited about. Older, that he can't connect with the kids, and sucks at making in-game adjustments and has suboptimal lines. Until Cronin is fired, this will be another lost season. 7 years of no playoffs. And really no change other than the fact that we have the young talent that looks ready to take the next step but can't. This road trip and most of the season has been the same story. Outshot and looking completely unprepared. What Bruce Boudreau said during the Capitals game feels spot on for the entire trip. The Ducks aren't involved, and they don't want to be involved. I miss that man. He was absolutely letting the Ducks have it during the broadcast. All 4 games so far have felt like the same story. The difference is, with the Canes game, they got elite goaltending. That's not to say Gibson was terrible or anything. I mean, if your team can't score a goal, it's tough to blame the goalie. Also, I'm not really sure where to put this, but the fact that Cronin said the Philly crowd was great is really concerning. If I was a player, this is the kind of comment that would make me lose faith in my coach. How can you call a crowd that spent the entire game chanting F you at your rookie player great? Honestly, if you thought that was so great, maybe we should start chanting at you, since you'd clearly love it, right? Genuine question. Do you guys still want me recapping games? Because I feel like I've been saying the same version of the same stuff for the past 2 years. Maybe I can try something different, like breaking down a single play, good or bad, or only recapping the good games. I'm not sure. Like, I still want to make videos after every game, but I feel like something needs to change. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. I'm sorry this video is so negative. It's just hard to find a lot of positives right now. The main bright spots for me are Lacombe is emerging as a top defenseman. Keep in mind, he is older than Minty and Zelli. Dostal looking elite and like the future goalie of this team. And of course, Timmy finding his game again. Beyond that though, I have questions about almost every other player on this team. And while some of it is on them, factors like lack of playing time, being stuck with bad teammates, are also at play. And until we see them in a new system suited to their skill sets, we truly won't know what we have in them. The future should be bright. We have the big pieces in place, but I just don't know. One last thing. This isn't a necessity, but has been one of my biggest pet peeves. One of the main reasons Duck My Life even started was because of the lack of content. One of the joys from winning is getting a hard hat video, and we don't even get that anymore. How hard is it to hold up a phone? It doesn't even have to be edited. Trim the beginning and the end and call it done. Heck, I think most of us would take a picture at this point. Like, I know it's dumb, but even doing something as stupid and simple as that for the fans would make things better. See Sharks fans for an example. It's like even after a Ducks win, I'm frustrated. I want to see them have fun. The boys being silly and smiling makes me smile. And for a moment, I truly forget how awful play we have been seeing. Like the Ducks were terrible against the Capitals, but they played some new content with Gudis' daughter Tinka reporting, and it was awesome. Really good content. I smiled. I'm sure that took them all season to make, so we shouldn't expect anything else. I would rather see the boys win and play well, but I don't see that happening anytime soon, so give us something. I probably could rant a lot more, but I don't need to. This video is long enough. Feel free to rant some more down below. Again, I'm sorry. That was a lot more doom and gloom than I was expecting, but it felt good to actually get it out. And I still believe in this team. The future is bright. We just have to make some changes. Thank you to our members. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and go Ducks!